And then we like stopped for a second, and I just like went on some tangent about the venue being fucking not rock and roll, and like, you know, we're, you know, hundreds of miles away from home, and, you know, like, they can't even let us finish our fucking set. And then they called the cops on us, and we had to fucking basically leave because the cops were there, and it was the whole thing, and it fucking sucked because, like, you know, we didn't get paid either. We even asked them, the owner was like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Hello, welcome to 3 Gigs, the podcast that tells the stories of 3 shows that have had a profound effect on a performer's life and career. Their very first show, their best show, and their worst show. I'm your host, Dominic Davy, and today my guests are Mountain Tamer. Mountain Tamer formed their signature fusion of heavy psych and stoner rock in 2011 on the outskirts of San Francisco, featuring guitarist and vocalist Andrew Hall, drummer Casey Garcia, and bassist Dave Tidgett. Mountain Tamer garnered local success with their hypnotic live performances, incorporating lucid jam sessions and traditional stoner doom structures that seamlessly blend splashes of the psychedelic with the metal. Releasing their debut album in 2016 on Argonauta Records in Italy, they toured relentlessly. And now, having partnered up with Magnetic Eye Records out of New York and Sony Records out of Berlin, they have released their second album, God Fortune Dark Matters. I was able to catch up with the members of Mountain Tamer in August, right before they left on their very first US tour supporting this new album. And they had some great stories to tell. They're really great people, and they're hilarious. So check this out. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed recording it. And we're going to start, as always, with the first show ever.
Well, it was at our friend's pool party in 2011. Summer solstice, 2011.
Nice.
It was probably about as fun as a first show could get. Right next to a pool.
Yeah, pool party. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid way to start.
Yeah, it was really positive. I remember playing well. I mean, it was quite a while ago now, but I thought we played pretty good. I mean, we were all really, you know, pretty intoxicated, as was everyone else though. So it didn't really, you know, I don't think anyone else noticed if we did play bad.
We were young.
Yes, young and naive.
Yeah, we all had short hair too.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a long time
How would
ago.
you break that image?
Yeah. They just shattered the image we worked so hard to curate.
You guys sound so this is so wholesome. I'm not sure how to react to it. Like this is like literally like boys next door having a pool party and playing a little music.
Yeah.
Boys came over.
Yeah. I think we had like 4 or 5 songs maybe.
Yeah. What
maybe one cover.
What brought it about? Like, was it like, so you guys had started the band, like, you guys kind of put it together and then it was a friend's house, or how did it happen?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had, like, maybe a month or 2 prior kind of, like, decided to actually, like, because we've been jamming for a bit. I mean, me and Dave have been jamming for a long time together, but we hadn't had a band in a long time, and me and Casey had kind of been jamming separately, and then all 3 of us started jamming, and then after a few months, we were like, let's just, like, you know, start an actual band.
Like jam together.
And then once we started writing stuff, after we had like somewhat of a set written, we were like, we need to get a show. And actually, it was our good buddy who threw it at his parents' house, who actually lived right behind my parents. Like our backyards almost like touched, so it was just like this like total like block party like vibe. It was really fun.
That's awesome.
I had played shows in other bands, and so had Casey and Dave, but like this was probably the most fun we had at a show, because everything else was like real sterile, like school events and like just kind of like real like middle school band shows that are just kind of awkward and not like super fun like a party environment was.
Right.
That was like our first too.
That's awesome. It sounds like it was really fun. It sounds like it was a nice, easy, like fun way to get started. Like okay, we're gonna play this. That's cool.
Yeah, and everyone was like, so all our friends from high school were there, so it was like, and everyone was like super supportive and like, I don't know, it was about as good as first show could get, actually. Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that was the first show, and you guys had a great time. It's kind of hard to top a pool party, and so you move forward with the band clearly.
Yeah.
What my last question on this, was it called Mountain Tamer the band name from the very beginning?
Yeah, pretty much. Since we like decided to be a serious band, or like even remotely serious, that was the.
It's only like a few jam sessions, so we like kind of came upon it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of even shaped our identity as like a little bit as a band, like sound even over the years.
That's kind of epic. I mean, it sounds like it was just it came together so easily. It just sounds like it was just so much fun to just do it, and then it was just all came easy. It's kind of how it sounds.
It was pretty organic.
The beginning was easy for sure, but after that,
yeah. That's probably the easiest point. It got progressively harder from there.
Doesn't
it?
Kind
of, I think how it goes.
Yeah, kind of. I understand it. All the complicated stuff comes later. At least that's how it was. That's how it's been for my band.
Your goals just get more difficult to achieve, I think. You know, when you're first starting out, you're just like, I just want to play. Like, I don't give a fuck if anyone's there. Like, I just want to play on a stage. Then you're like, okay, I want to play like good shows. And then you're like, okay, now we got a tour, and now I want like a label. And then those are all things you have to like do a lot of extra shit that has nothing to do with like writing music or like jamming.
Dude, that's so true. So many. I've had to learn and do so many things that I never thought that I would have to do when I started a band. Like when I wanted to be in a band and I wanted to do a band, I never thought that I would become, say, a minor van mechanic. Didn't know that was going to come with it.
Prepares ourselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or an accountant, or
nope.
Or a secretary, really.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Marketing expert.
We're all the coordinators as well.
Yeah.
We're low level influencers.
It's like you don't see. Yeah, you don't see any of that coming. You're just like, I just want to play. Oh wait, I have to do all this other stuff. What do you mean marketing? It's like street team. What?
Yeah, it's a lot like having a small business.
It really is. It really can take the fun out of it really fast.
Yeah, it's hard. You gotta like, I don't know. You kind of have to have like, two mentalities. You know,
there's a balance for sure.
Yeah, it's true. It's still fun. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot that comes with it that I think a lot of people don't understand, and a lot goes into it. You know, but.
Yeah, and you gotta like, as they say, like pay your dues. You gotta do it yourself for a while, or some people do, until people start doing things for you. Getting to help you.
Dude, that is so true. It's funny though, because I don't know about you guys, but it's like the whole time that I had to do stuff myself, I would sit there and be like, oh man. I just can't wait till somebody books shows for me. And, oh, man, I can't wait there's somebody around to help me with this and do this and think about this. And then when I got to that point where I had, I finally got to the point where people were doing stuff for me, there were times where I, even to this day, even though I appreciate and they're amazing people because they that help me and help do stuff and totally listen to this podcast. So I'm definitely not hating on them and how much help they are. But at the same time, there are times where I'm like, Man, it was so much easier when I did it myself. I could get stuff done so much easier. But
we're kind of experiencing that with like we got a new label and they're like really rad, but they're also like one of the labels is also in Berlin, so there's a bit of a like language barrier, and we're also like dealing with a major time zone difference.
Oh right.
And you're just like, it's like, and then they're also dealing with third party like people pressing records and stuff, and so it's like it's hard to like communicate because it has to go through so many like lines, and like it's just like, you know, damn, like when we were just ordering our shit ourselves, like it was like, you know, direct to the source.
That's
it's just,
yeah, you nailed it, because that's literally how I found it to be. Where it's not bad, it's great to have all these people, but because you have all these people, I have to go through all these people. So when people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, can your band play this show?" and I'm like, "No, I can't. I don't even know where to begin to make that happen. I have to have so many people to clear. Like I can't just play I can't play a party." Yeah. You have to go through all the people. It's a much bigger as you go on. It becomes a much bigger process to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So that was the first show back when it was easy, and you got to play a pool party.
Yeah.
So what was like one of your guys' favorite shows of all time?
Man, pretty tough.
It is tough. It's a tough question.
One of the ones we kind of like briefly talked about when we were getting ready for this was when I moved to LA a couple years ago, and we played this show in Hollywood with Mondo Generator, which has like Nick Oliveri's band from Queens of Stone Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Joey Castillo was there, and he just was like, you know, there hanging out, and then there was God, I can't remember his name. It was like the guitarist of Bad Religion. There's always just like heavy dudes there that like it was just cool to like play for those kind of people and like interact with them and like have it be like pretty natural and like and we just played. That was just like because we hung out with Nick. We're all like really big Queens fans, and we hung out with Nick that like whole night, and it was just like kind of rad to like hang out with him. Yeah, like really really rad, and just talk to him, and like he's like everything you expect, but also he's like got a lot of chill and like
he's like a deceptively funny dude.
Yeah.
He totally
really
is.
intense though.
It's always
that's probably one of our best shows, I think.
That's a good,
most rewarding.
Yeah. Well, the moments that you get to when you get to this point where you're playing alongside and with and surrounded by these people you've looked up to, and then they're like into you and they're into your band. It's a big deal.
Yeah. It felt good, and like none of us, you know, froze up and like, you know, had, you know, starstruck or anything like that.
I definitely bailed. Yeah. I was out of there. It was cool. It was cool for a minute.
Yeah.
You always got to leave the party first. You got to leave first.
Yeah.
You're like, this is amazing. I'm out. Bye.
I mean, we've our little tiny niche genre has allowed us to open for some of the, you know, bigger bands, even though, you know, compared to a lot of other genres, the bands don't get that big in kind of like the stoner psych scene, but we've been able to open for some like pretty rad bands that we've like looked up to, and that's been like, I think that's kind of cool, because if we were in like a little more of a broader genre or more kind of like mainstream genre, we probably wouldn't get that opportunity quite as often.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I mean, it's a cool feeling to be able to like stand next to everybody and be able to like know that you're like, to be assured that you're like, it's all this time and effort you put into this thing is like, it's worth it. It like, people appreciate it and they're into it, and you get to do this.
Yeah. You're part of something too. Like, you know, it makes your, sometimes, you know, especially being like a local band, if you're not touring like 24/7, like sometimes your world can feel a little like small.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when we weren't living in Santa Cruz, you know, it was like we kind of just saw the same bands, played the same venues all the time, and then once you know, randomly you play for these like bigger bands, and you're just like, okay, you know, the world's a little bit bigger than right here. You know, you kind of like cabin fever sometimes when you play the same venues over and over again.
Yeah, no, it's easy. It's so easy, I think, for bands to get in a rut. I see it happen all the time. I see them kind of just sort of be stuck in this one place, playing to the same people, and kind of just getting bored with it.
Yeah, same venue, same night, same lineups.
I say that bands are like sharks. They have to keep moving. Like, you, even not just the fans, but even the members have to have something to look forward to. There has to be something that you're trying to get to, some goal, reason, purpose, and then the audience has to feel that reason and purpose and goal, and like the stuff's happening and it matters and it's important, and it has to have that.
Yeah. I agree. I think like having an ambition and a goal is really important. That's like, I've never heard someone put it like that, but I think that's like super important. Because it feeds into, especially live, like, you know, if you've got purpose, you'll probably have a lot more energy on stage.
Well, yeah, if you have something to prove, you know what I mean? Like, if you have something that you really want to accomplish, and like you're all working towards it, like, okay, we're doing this, and we're gonna have it could be anything, especially for smaller bands. It could be a recording, or we're gonna headline, we're gonna be able to pack all of our friends into this club, or we're gonna play with that band and open for them, or when you get larger, it's like, okay, we're gonna work to lock down this section of the country. I want to be able to like draw in San Diego, LA, San Francisco, Santa Barbara, you know, like, or we got, you know, whatever it is, you have to have that something, and everybody's like feeling like there's this energy that you're working towards. Because I feel like if once a band's just sort of like, oh yeah, we're playing, like, unless it's a jam band or just for fun, it's like, it sort of like, you can kind of feel when suddenly a band sort of just sits on its heels and isn't hungry.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, it's cool to like know someone's like striving for something like big and watching it in like action.
Yeah. I remember watching the Metallica documentaries that they put out and just kind of like getting annoyed with them, where I kind of wanted them to like separate them from all of their riches and go, I want you guys to go practice in the shitty practice place that you grew up in. And I want you to not come out until you come out. Like, you wanted to have one of those, like, Eye of the Tiger Rocky moments. Like, you just look at that band. Look how hungry they are. That was you once.
Yeah. Yeah, like, seriously, you guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah. Like, stop. But, I mean, because, like, they, you know, like, I pick on them because it was, like, they came out with these documentaries where they're just sort of, like, agonizing on whether to sell paintings or not for millions of dollars. And they're, like, trying to write lyrics in a round. And I'm like, oh, man, this album's going to be terrible. You guys can do better than this. You're a better band than this. We all know you're a better band. So. Yeah,
I know it's tough, but at this point they put out more bad albums than good albums. So.
Yeah. But you know, it's like one of those things. Like, bands at that point, they can play like a full 2-hour set of like hits because they just spread it over multiple records and really old stuff. They kind of
earned it.
Yeah. All right. So if that's okay, so enough about them, but like, all right. So if that's your best show, and that's a pretty great show, what would been a show that's one of your worst? Like a moment where you guys were like, "Why the hell am I doing this? What have I done with my life?"
This one took us a minute, because the one we kind of decided on is probably one of our worst, most frustrating shows, but it's also like one of the better like stories, I guess, that comes from like touring. It was the first time we played Las Vegas, and we played this club, and it was a Friday night, and we were touring with another band, and it was 2 local bands. We were kind of like sandwiched in between. So the first band went up, local band went up, good set. There was a bunch of people there. Then our band we were touring with went up. They had a great set. More people there. There was like packed. A lot of people. It was packed. They had no security. We start playing, and we get we get into our like second or third song, and then the guy, he wasn't a security guard, he was just charging people at the door. Comes up, he's like, you guys have to stop playing. And we're like, why? And he's like, people are getting in fights outside, and like there was one inside, and we're like, what does that have to do with us? Like, we've never even been here before. And they're like, no, you guys are done. And they turn off our mic, and I get super fucking angry, and I kind of just like, no one left, none of the audience left, and we just turned up our amps and like went into like a super loud like just punk jam. Like, it was nonsense, but it was just loud, and everyone was there. And then we like stopped for a second, and I just like went on some tangent about the venue being fucking not rock and roll, and like, we're, hundreds of miles away from home, and, like, they can't even let us finish our fucking set. And then they called the cops on us, and we had to fucking basically leave because the cops were there, and it was the whole thing, and it fucking sucked because, like, we didn't get paid either. We even asked them, the owner was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that was the best part. Yeah, Casey goes up, he's like, so we still get paid? She's like, get the fuck out of here. They go on, like,
also they made all the drums be behind, like, one of those,
yeah, it was off to a bad start. Like,
that are in churches, like
yeah,
church bands.
And, like, huge stadiums. Like, those plexiglass. This is, like, a maybe, like, 200-person venue.
Oh,
like,
man.
No need for it. Looked stupid. Sounded terrible. Yeah, it sucks because like it was like one of the best attended shows we've ever had on tour. But
so
we get like kicked out, cops called on us, we load up, and then all the dudes that were there, like there's a really like hesh scene and like local scene in Las Vegas.
Right.
And everyone pretty much from the show were just like, like, come meet us at this casino tonight. And we just ended up like getting treated to drinks all night until like 5 a.m. and we like made really good friends with everyone, and they just like took us out everywhere, and like it was like we had like a really, really good time. And it was just like it was horrible because we got cut off literally like 2.5 songs in, and the cops called and everything. But it was like, I always call it our best worst show because it was like one of the most rock and roll moments of our existence as a band, I think, because we were just screaming. Like, the fucking door guy was like in my face, but I was up on stage. I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, just it was pure mayhem. But it was pretty wild. It was terrible, and I try not to do that kind of shit. And it was also just like, who has a club in Vegas on a Friday night and has no security?
Right.
Like,
damn.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably like one of the most epically horrible shows we've ever had.
I think you're the first band that's ever told a story about the cops getting called on them to get them off stage and out of the club. I think you win the award as far as disasters go, as that goes. Well, what was that?
Oh, but that wasn't the worst.
That's still a cool little anecdote that you probably like to.
Oh, let's focus on one story at a time.
That's done.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a crazy time.
I don't know about you guys.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know about you guys, but I've never played the same club twice in Las Vegas ever, like ever.
No, we played 4 times. So we have quite a legacy with Las Vegas. So that was the first time we played Las Vegas. Then the second time we were on tour with another band, and
that was another horrible show.
Yeah, that was another like one of the worst. And we are like en route from Arizona, like 2 hours from the venue, and the show's in about 4 or 5 hours. And the local band hit us up, who, mind you, has like a huge amount of members in the band, so they were going to be like half our audience. They hit us up like, yo, we're like, we knew like it just like the whole booking process of it was like super weird and like bad communicating. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, all right, well at least we'll play for those dudes and hang out. And then they hit us up like 3 or 4 hours before the show was supposed to be happening. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to be at the show.
Oh.
So we played for like there was like 4 people in the bar when we started playing, and then there was like 2.
There was also like a drum demo going on before.
Oh yeah.
And it was really weird. And there was just like all these drum sets set up before, but then it was just really strange.
It was a weird, and then that night just ended horribly too.
No one in there.
Yeah. And then we went back again, and it was awesome, and it was like a huge show, and we made good money, and like.
Where is that at?
That was at the Beauty Bar, the outside stage at Beauty Bar. Yeah.
Oh, in Vegas?
That place is really
That's the place my band played the last time we played Vegas. We played the outdoor stage at Beauty Bar.
So yeah, it's like a good size, but it doesn't need to be packed to be like a good like show.
Yeah. No, it was
just
super
like
fun.
Being in between buildings. Yeah.
It's just I often wonder if a venue is gonna, like, almost every venue my band has ever played in Las Vegas, whether it was a good show or bad show, it was gone when I came back. Like closed and changed its name.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Okay, so we won't talk about the venue that we don't need to name the name of the venue that because they started a flame war with us on Facebook after that whole event too.
Oh, are you serious?
A bunch of people called them out. Yeah, it was really.
I bet I know which place it is. I already have a suspicion. I suspect it, but I'm not.
We can after this is over, we can go off record. But I feel like we might not want to do that. Again,
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I can just say it.
No.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck. It's called the Artifice. And they suck. Artifice or something. Yeah, they were horrible. I mean, maybe they've changed their ways, but they can come at me if they want.
I could take that out if you want. I could take that out.
I don't. Honestly, at this point, man, they still know who we are. We're not saving anything. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, leave it in. Leave it in. People should know.
People need. You guys are such badasses that you have been banned from a club in Las Vegas, the city of sin. The city of sin, gentlemen, has banned you. Like, there's a club that went, nah, man, no way.
You guys, yeah, it was, yeah, that's what it is. Like, it was terrible, but like, dude, we made a pretty good impression, I think. Like, for all the locals, they loved us after that, dude. It was cool. We made a lot of like cool people after that. I think that we handled it the best way possible. Maybe not the best way, but it was the most rock and roll way possible.
I think the flame war probably didn't help your case of handling it the best way possible.
We kind of like didn't say anything initially, but I think it kind of like they like posted this whole thing and like tagged us in it, and like we're kind of just going off, and we were like, all right, we can't just like. I don't even think we got super heavy into it, but we were just like, how are you not going to have security on a Friday night? Like, and then blame us for fights when we have no friends there. Like, it's not like we brought those people. Yeah, ridiculous. It was the whole thing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Listening to Mountain Tamer. If you'd like to know more about Mountain Tamer, check out their website, get ready for it, at mtntmr.com. Mountain Tamer, get it? mtntmr.com. Alright, you can rewind the podcast if you need to. They are excellent, and their new album kicks ass. If you want to find out more about 3 Gigs, check out our website at 3gigspodcast.com. You can see bonus content of all of our guests, including some videos of Mountain Tamer. You can also find us online on our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, just by searching 3 Gigs Podcast, or even just 3 Gigs. Give us a follow and let us know what you think of the show. Anyone you want to hear on the show in the future, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Our theme music for this show was People Problems by Mountain Tamer from their album God Fortune Dark Matters, out now on Magnetic Eye Records and the Sony Records. I so hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a chance and you use Apple products or iTunes, take a moment to go to our iTunes page and give us a good rating. 5 stars and write something up. That makes a big difference in how many people discover the show. So thank you in advance for taking the time. Anyway, my name is Dominic Davey. This has been 3 Gigs Podcast, and I hope I'll see you next time.